What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cass here, and we are here for another episode of This Week in CAW. I believe this is week number 5, and we are here to dive into the ACW round robin tournament for Block C and D. So before we get into this review, I want to log in a few things. Each match for this was set with 20-minute time limit. It is very much multiple matches from the same people because it is a round robin tournament style. So some of the matches, because of length, got lower ratings, but that doesn't mean the show overall isn't worth watching. As always, the link for the channel, for Boss's channel, J&W Boss, where ACW is located, is going to be in the description. Go check it out because there are some gems in this card that were actually really good. We're going to get into one of them, which was Damian Miles against Shane Roach. So for this match, what I liked a lot was how Damian is very much more of your grounded, technical kind of guy, very much a limb target competitor. Brought his aggression to Roach early, and I love, as always, I've told them many times, I love J-Dog and J&W's commentary. Like, it's something that through the whole tournament was just A+. But as far as the match quality for Miles and Roach, Miles started off very quick to try to get to Shane Roach. But after a few minutes, Shane was able to take control with the striking, and then the fire back, though, from Damian was cool to see, as well as, like I said, the targeting of the leg, trying to set up for that, for the knee bar and the ankle lock was really cool overall, and also cool to see how it played into the finish, which, as always, we don't say who wins each match. Make sure y'all go and check out the match, or the show, and it is, for Miles and Roach, 3.5 out of 5. So, the next match, which was Mullet Man Christopherson versus Gabriel Cole, this was a bit of a clash of styles. Like, Cole's very much similar to Miles, very much of a limb target competitor, very much a grind you down, make you tap out type competitor, while Christopherson's high action, high paced, very much a flamboyant kind of personality. And Cole started off the match showing off that strength of being able to use his technical prowess against Christopherson and being able to overpower Christopherson as well. But later in the match, Christopherson was able to get some of that speed and use it to his success. And Cole ended up getting distracted by the getting distracted overall by the personality of Christopherson, and it ended up costing him, and was a cool way to set up the finish as well. This one, it's kind of hard with this because I'm gonna give this 2.5 out of 5. It's not that the match did anything bad, it's just that the match didn't do anything to, like, say, wow, I thought this was really, you know. So now the next match, kind of similar. This is Tyler Drake versus Jack Danielson, and this is the thing that I'll get into with more Danielson's matches. It's just not a gimmick I completely understand. I don't completely understand what the go for was there. So some of the matches later on, I think it's kind of meant to be like a comedy kind of gimmick, and it just doesn't flow with what I enjoy as a viewer. So, but as well, Drake seemed to, in this match, underestimate Danielson, which caused for Danielson to be able to get some shots in. But Drake later got frustrated in the match, took control of Danielson. I'm going through my notes here with, but there was a cool false finish as well in this match that ended up with Drake getting caught with the mandible claw, which led to a false finish, which then he runs in and then gets caught with the pile driver, which led to a second false finish. And like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Danielson's matches, and y'all will see that when we get later on. But overall, this was probably the match I was the happiest with of the tournament for him, because of like the cool false finishes spots, like having a false finish on the outside with the count out and then the running into the pile driver into another false finish is a really cool idea. So I'm gonna give this 2.5 out of 5. Y'all might be saying that's a little low, but for me as a viewer, y'all might feel differently, but for me as a viewer, I don't completely understand the Danielson character. But it also, like, to each their own. The next match was a match I actually really enjoyed a lot, which was Noah Yamamoto versus Elijah Maverick. And Elijah Maverick actually is a character coming out of this that I'm really excited for. Noah Yamamoto's on UKW, so of course I've always gotten behind him as a character and a gimmick, but this is my first exposure to Elijah Maverick, so seeing Maverick was kind of a cool new experience. This match was very hard hitting. This match was very, very much a strong style versus brute match, which kind of are similar styles, but very different as well. So this match was very back and forth. And if you love like the strong brute punch, striking, grapple type of match, you'll like to go back and watch Yamamoto and Maverick. And I'm excited to see what Maverick does on Full Throttle as well, because I feel like that's a gimmick you can do a lot with. So me personally, it's one of the matches I really enjoyed. 3 out of 5 for this match. And like I said, with these tournament matches, they're not meant to be pay-per-view level competitions. I'm excited to see what happens when we get to the semis as well as the finals for the tournament, because I'm not 100% sure yet. Depending on how it falls, I might cover that on a call review as well. But depending on where it falls in the week and what I have set up that week and all things considered. But heading into the next match, we have Damian Miles and Mullet Man Christopherson. Similar to the first match with Cole, Mullet Man seemed like he was on defense for the majority of this match. Miles' technical prowess was kind of able to ground Christopherson as well, and the unique ending was interesting and really gave a bump to what was already a pretty decent match. So Miles and Mullet Man Christopherson, 3 out of 5. All things considered, pretty good show overall. Heading into Roach and Cole, and this match was a match I was excited for and kind of lived up to that expectation. The striking of Roach versus the grappling of Cole is a contrast to styles that even I've worked with before. I've done matches with Cole and Roach before in UKW very early on, so I know about the contrast styles there. And then you get later in the match when they try to use the opposite, like where Cole tries to get into the striking game against Roach, or Roach tries to use the grappling against Cole. I liked that because it kind of like they're having to dive into each other's wheelhouses and kind of blend styles together. And Roach was able to showcase towards the end of the match what he's willing to do in this tournament to get wins. And I think that's good character development in a tournament where it's really just match after match and you need good character development. So 3.5 out of 5. Overall, one of the better matches on the card, and overall a match I'm actually excited to see a rematch about it later on in Full Throttle. So next match was Maverick and Danielson. This match, I believe, got the lowest rating on the night. It really wasn't even a match. The match, I think, went like 2-3 minutes. Pure destruction from Elijah Maverick to Jack Danielson. Like I said, me personally, I just don't get the Danielson character, especially if in this kind of tournament aspect. So, overall, a good showcase for Maverick, I guess. This is a 1.5 out of 5. Now, getting into the next match, what I think personally was the best match on the night, and that was the match between Tyler Drake and Noah Yamamoto. The match opening was very back and forth. Very, very back and forth, and the styles are actually very similar. You wouldn't think it when looking at Drake and Yamamoto and a base, but the styles are very similar. Drake's kind of a blend of a grappler and a striker. Noah's kind of a blend of more of a heavy, strong style striker, but it can also use the grappling stuff as well. But this is a match that very much got enhanced by the visuals. The blood from Noah Yamamoto was everywhere in this match, and Drake even showed like he's willing, as well, similar to Shane earlier in the tournament. Drake's willing to go that extra mile, but he's willing to go the legit way. He's not willing to cheat. He's wanting to get this done the right way, which is very similar to the gimmick he's portraying in UKW, which I think is a very similar. It's showing good character traits for the same person across different kind of shows. So 4 out of 5 for Drake and Yamamoto. So next, we got Damian Miles and Gabriel Cole. The only note, I have one note for this match, and that's Miles being frustrated at the way the tournament had kind of played out at this point. Targeted the leg of Cole at the beginning of the match, which he also used a chair on this on the leg of Cole, which ended up leading to the tap out from Cole. This match, like I said, kind of similar to the Danielson and Maverick match. Really wasn't a match, was a match, but kind of was done from the gate. This is 1.5 out of 5. So the next match, because it was very much fast paced there for a few. It was very much fast paced there for a little bit. It's immediately after the Damian Miles and Cole match, Roach is coming out, and he ends up getting attacked by Christopherson, Mulletman Christopherson. And he tries to take advantage, bring this fight to Shane early, and ends up doing that. But like 2, 3, 4 minutes into the match, Shane catches Mulletman, and it's pretty much game over at that point. So, like I said, these are shorter matches. They're gonna get shorter ratings. There's not really, like, the only reason these are just advancements in the story. So 2.5. I mean, 2 out of 5. It's a good advancement in the story. Nothing really to write home about. Danielson and Yamamoto actually tied Danielson and Drake, because I actually liked this showcase from Danielson. That kind of like comedy, able to kind of mock Noah, because everything Noah had been through, the hard match with Drake, the match with Elijah Maverick as well, which wasn't a walk in a park. So like this match with Danielson, where Danielson took really a lot of the control of the match, and the story that was being told with like Danielson kind of mocking Noah, and towards the end of the match, Noah was able to get the control back. But I really like, this was a good showcase of the Danielson character. This was the only match where I felt like the character really succeeded. So 2.5 out of 5. Really, overall, that was a good way to portray the character, in my opinion. That's a world he succeeds in. So now we'll get to the main event, which was Tyler Drake and Elijah Maverick. Drake had been through so much at this point, with the match with Noah, the match with Danielson, which, like I said, wasn't a walk in the park, where he ended up getting caught with the claw and then the pile driver. It's not like he just absolutely destroyed Danielson like Maverick did. So Maverick was absolutely in control for the overall majority of this match, until a beautiful spot, which I really liked, which was Drake nailed a powerbomb lung blower with a barricade assist. So that absolutely took the momentum back. And then But also what I liked from Maverick, and this was something that Boss mentioned on commentary during the show, which was that Maverick had scouted the previous matches from Drake and had planned for that Drake Valley driver, and Drake had went for it multiple times against Maverick and he wasn't able to hit it. And I think that is a perfect and very smart character trait for Elijah Maverick, and something you could definitely do something with as a booker or as a storyteller. Overall, it's not a bad show at all. The overall scores are going to be on the screen. Now, I know that this score might seem a little bit lower, but once we get into the actual Full Throttle brand and the Full Throttle semis and finals, this is a show that I'm personally going to be very invested in, and I think you guys should go and watch as well. Like I said, link to Boss's channel is in the description. If you haven't already subscribed to J&W Boss for any ACW content. But guys, I will say that is the end to this week in CAW for week number 5. If you guys have any recommendations for CAW shows that are going to be dropping within the next week for me to review next Friday, drop them in the comment section below. Or if y'all just want me to check out any CAW shows, drop them in the comment section and I'll decide if they deserve a CAW review episode or not. Anyway, this has been your boy Cass. I am so excited about tomorrow's Creator Insight with Murph. It's been a person that has inspired me to do content for years, and just being able to sit down with him for an hour was an absolute, really an accomplishment for me. Somebody that was so much of an inspiration to be able to sit down and do an hour interview with somebody that inspired you to do something is something I never thought I'd have the opportunity to do. And that's all thanks to you guys. So hit the like button, subscribe. This has been your boy Cass, and I'm out. But above all else, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Bye, guys.